Ladies, gentlemen, and those who identify differently, you are about to embark on an interactive demonstration of performing arts in a virtual world. We'll be beginning with a scene from our most recent full production, after which you get to go behind the scenes, onto the stage where you will become a dancer with the company. We begin with a scene from the production called Colors. I introduce to you the cast performing a scene called Goddesses and Guardians. Thank you. We really hope you enjoyed that scene from our production show Colors. That was the cast, or some of the cast, of the Spirit Light Dance Company performing Goddesses and Guardians.
The DJ doing that. Welcome to our class. The goal today is to give you a little insight on how we got where we are today with the Spirit Light Dance Company, and kind of where would like to go. And in the process of this, towards the end of the class, I'm going to ask you to do a few things. I'm going to bring out some mover pads and get you on a dance hut, and hopefully get you dancing in a dance with us. So first thing I want you to do is everybody, it looks like everyone is seated, right? Let's see, has everybody got a seat? They do. All right, now what I want you to do, there's this red ball. I'm going to stand up just to make sure you know what I'm talking about. I want you to each click this, and you're going to get a folder in your recent inventory, and it will give you several things. It'll give you some URLs that we're going to use later on in the class. Also, an information document that tells a little bit about SLDC, which you can read at your own discretion at your own time. And also there is a wearable special effect thing, and if you all will wear that right now, it would be helpful. So it'll say SLDC. Well, Alex, what does it say? you're here.
SLDC wearing gadget.
Okay, wear the gadget and just wear it for a minute. She's going to show you about that in just a few minutes, okay? I have a couple of things I'm going to say, and then we're going to invite her to show you. Okay, we have nothing to sell. This is not a sales pitch for any particular dance system. It is simply an explanation of how SLDC came into being and some of the obstacles that we've had to overcome. I'm going to tell you a little, mostly the end before we begin. That's so that you'll be more easily able to fill in the blanks as we go. And we have a lot to accomplish in a short amount of time, so first I am going to share with you a list of a wish list that I have for the company this year. To continue work for a more seamless presentation of our shows. Toward that effort, I would love to see the choreographers collaborate with each other even more than they already are. And to accomplish all this, we have a need for enhanced tools that will make the execution of these goals easier for the choreographers. I have no doubt that these goals will be reached. For this class, I'm going to take you on an SL dance history journey, and we will end with you having an opportunity to experience and dancing with us much like our dancers do in a real show. Some of you have been in SL long enough to remember the things that I'm going to remind you of, so I invite you to be patient and walk this nostalgic path with me. But first, a note about special effects. Excuse me, I have allergies, and I just started having an issue with them about 15 minutes ago, so I beg your tolerance. I want to brag a little bit about Alex Heron. She is our special effects wizard. As many of you have discovered, SLDC heavily emphasizes choreography, storyline, and theme in our shows with touches of special effects. There was a time here in SL recently, in our recent past, when using special effects was the cake and not the icing in a show. I'm not speaking of SLDC, I'm speaking of other companies who for lack of good skilled choreography, would cover up and draw audience attention by using special effects. That is not what we do. We use the icing on the cake, and Alex is the one who provides that icing. At least she has for the last 18 months or so. Alex is a wonderful particle effects performer, but with SLDC, she kindly adds the frosting. It is important to know that she does her own special effects shows, and they are fabulous. And if you have not seen one, I would encourage you to join her group, where you can get information about her shows. And her particle shows is the cake. Okay, this is where she shines. Today, we both have inviters out for you. There's a yellow one over to, it's to my left, but the yellow one on one side, that's her inviter, and that's where you will get information about her shows. And our inviter for us, if you're not a member of the SLDC group, I encourage you to click that sign and join our group so that you'll get information about when we perform. And now I'd like to have Alex step forward, if you would, dear, and she's going to take over for a few minutes. Have you got your mic on, hon?
Yes, thank you for your kind words, Carol. Can everybody hear me? Wave a hand or whatever.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yep. Right. I won't take up a lot of time because I am the icing and you're here for the cake today. But I do special effects. Two sides of it, I think, as regards the Spirit Light Dance Company. There is, of course, technical side, a bit of scripting, a bit of texture design. And of course, the other side, the technical side, is making it work when Second Life throws gremlins on the night. But I think the really exciting part is working with this tremendous team, and it really is a privilege to work with talented people, kind people, and under the skilled leadership of Carol, our creative director. And if we're in a different situation, I'd like you to applaud her, but I've got to move on. So that's what I do. Now, I've just prepared just a little demonstration of special effects like tonight. We use various different ways to trigger them, but the one that you, I hope, are all now wearing, please, if you're not, find that SLDC wearing gadget and add or wear it. And I'm going to set off just 3 very small special effects. If you want to do this yourself later, it uses the command listen, and it's triggered by putting 50 or 51 or 52 on or off. But please don't do that now, I will. So watch your head, folks, and you are about to go up in fireworks.
Don't we have to stand up first? I think we better stand up.
Oh yes, I beg your pardon, Carol. Yes, it works better if you stand up.
Yeah, everybody stand up just for a second right in front of your pad.
Yes.
And that's good. Okay.
And then look at the top of your head.
Okay.
Number 1.
Okay.
In shades of teal and purple.
Good.
Some of you, I think, haven't put the effect on. Number 1 off. Number 2. And there you go, a simple way of showing you the kind of thing that we do for the special effects for this show on a slightly bigger scale, but of course not huge. I'm going to turn you all off again. And thank you all for listening to me. I'll hand you back to our director, Carol.
Okay, have a seat again on your pads if you would, please. And there are two, a male and a female, I think. Thank you, Alex. As you could see, she was busily hitting her keyboard and doing this. In a show, we have a scripter who actually scripts these things so that there is a HUD that is clicked. But anytime you see that happening in SLDC, you know that Alex is behind it. She does a wonderful job. And thank you, Alex. Okay, SLDC is a live performing company. We stage our choreography for people sitting in the audience. The videos of our work are taken mostly from our live shows. A lot of my background is in performing dance on the live stage, and that's what we do here. The video is wonderful to have, and there are a few that we do design once in a while, a dance that is really choreographed and created for the camera, but most of the time it is not. Most of the time it's created for you people sitting in the audience, for the size of the stage or the size of the set. It is not oriented for just video. Therefore, we have to be pretty skilled at keeping your attention. And that means that we employ all those techniques that are common in classic dancing, or when I say classic, I don't mean classic hold, but I mean classic movement on stage, presentation, staging, things of that sort. So there's a lot that goes into it. Before SLDC history, early days, 2008, 2009, dance in SL. Well, what did we have? How many of you were here then? You can put an H in the local chat if you were here around that time. I've been here a long time. Okay, Lou said there were several, yeah. Okay, so some of you who have been here that long, of course, a lot of my dancers have been, but those of you who have been here for a long time, you probably remember the dancing in the clubs and the scattering of the balls on the floor. Dancing here in SL during that period of time was limited to mostly clubby and sex-oriented, either burlesque or cabaret. Balls on the floor, and if you could look back at it, you'd probably laugh at how primitive it was back in those days. It was very much, oh gosh, those individuals that long ago who actually tried to perform in it, I really hand it to them, because they're so limited. Everything was so limited, and people came to me and when they found out that I had a professional dance background, wanting me to participate. And what did I see when I went to the shows? I saw dancers not in sync. I saw dancers half dressed. I saw dancers and audience on the same sim with no restrictions. I saw dancing in a line with very little staging and little movement outside of the actual animation itself. I saw limited animations, some of which were really bad. And I was soon to recognize the limitation of all those animations. There was no mirror image animations at this time. That means that, well, you know what mirror image is. So when you're choreographing for a stage in groups of people, mirror image becomes very important. So for years here in SL, we had none. And I'm going to show you some video. We're going to play some video of those early times so that you can actually get an opportunity to see one next to the other, so you can see what they look like. So I just kind of ignored all this prompting from my friends early on because I just really didn't see that that we could do much with it. You know, we really didn't have what we needed to make real presentations, theater presentations. We could do a little dance now and then, here and there. Most of the dancers in those days, well, let me say this. Then 3FX came on the scene. 3FX was a company that made clubby animations and animations that were well done. But one of the things they did that just really got me thinking differently was they came out with ballroom dances that were actually motion cap animation ballroom professionals. They were very well done. I have a background in ballroom dancing, so I know when it's done right. And I was just, oh my gosh, look at this. Isn't this cool? And I was really excited. About the same time, we got rid of those balls that were at the clubs on the floor, and the N10 came into being. And so I thought, okay, maybe I can do something with this. So I got myself a Huddles, as that's what everyone was using back in those days for individual dancing. And I filled it up with about 50 animations, which I thought was tons of animations, and now there's probably several thousand in my inventory. And I started taking friends to clubs, and we'd get on my Huddles, and the Huddles had the opportunity to put in a note card with a particular type of animation, like if I wanted Latin, or if I wanted slow dancing or fast dancing or swing. I could put those on note cards, and I learned to be able to switch those note cards really fast. I wasn't the only one. In the early days, almost every dancer that did any dancing here, performing here, was also a freestyle dancer, which means they could grab a HUD, the music that came on, they reacted to it, they could lead people on there, and I'd go dancing with 10 or 15 friends, and it was fun. It was just plain fun, and we really enjoyed it. But then I began to say, okay, how was I going to do this? What was going to happen? What could I do to perform? And back then, we had no movers. We had a Huddles or another HUD like it with, if I don't know if any of you had a Huddles, but they're huge. They take up all this real estate on your screen. They had no channels, so you could only wear one at a time. If you were going to dance and you wanted to dance like you do in the real world, where one group of people does this and another group of people does this over here, you couldn't do that. You had to teach someone to run another HUD, load the animations, and synchronize their movements with yours. Took a lot of rehearsal. And the early days of SLDC, from like 2010 to 2012, I would say, about that long, that's exactly what we did. It wasn't until 2014 when Kiko built the group HUD that we didn't have to teach someone else to run the HUD. If you look back at our old videos, you'll see that we still did groups. We did it all, right? But think of how difficult. I could have, if I had 5 groups, I had to have 5 people that were qualified and understood well enough to be able to know when to click and when not, to do that part. So having the group HUD in 2014 was fantastic. It was a great, big, huge jump forward. Okay. So what we really needed to do was to overcome these issues, and one by one, as the company, as these about 15 people in the beginning came together, Erdikram Gemini was a member of the company, and he did some scripting for us and built us a new HUD that had the ability to change channels. And I remember, Kiko, there was 12 channels on that HUD. We thought that was fantastic. We outgrew it in a year. So Kiko updated it, and now we have unlimited channels on it. So a lot of our dancing, as it evolved forward, it involved the building of tools to allow us to do the kind of performing that we do today. The dance you saw when we first started this class today had 8 groups. I didn't really need 8 groups for that dance. I probably only needed 4, but we had 8, so I used 8. But that dance was operated from my screen, completely from my screen. I didn't have any help. I didn't need anybody to do anything but just get on the dance ball and the hut, on the mover, and on the dance hut. Let me also explain that when we first started, we had to stand in one place. We didn't have a mover to move us from here to there, or you had to move your avatar with your arrow keys. Now we have movers that move us everywhere, and they're very smooth. You can't really tell if we do it properly. You can't tell that we're using the mover. It looks like it's part of the animation. But back then, I'm going to show you a video here in a minute that was in 2011. We are on stationary balls. It's like a sit ball here, only it's a standing ball on a platform. You're going to see 19 dancers standing in one place. You're going to see them being led. You're going to see some moving and some not moving. So you will see that we did groups, but those groups were operated by different people. They weren't being operated by me, even though it was my choreography. So one of the next big hurdles was, okay, how do we move these people? How do we get them on a stage? How do we get them off the stage? We can't just have them standing in the middle of the stage on a ball. And that's not performing. So the very first mover that was built for us was called a DBC, and we could move lines. We could not move like you're going to see later. We could not move things around like you saw us move today on that dance we did. We had to stand in one place pretty much, and the movement that happened from the animation itself, not the mover. But the cool thing is that we did get a mover. We could move forward and back. We could rotate, even though it snapped and it was jerky. It was a step forward, and it was happening all over SL. I was not aware until many years later that the Japanese community had somebody who was building them a mover, and it was called an SCI at the same time that our DBC was being built. So I have no idea what SCI means. DBC means dance ball controller. And so it was happening everywhere. People were trying to figure out how to make it work better and what we could do. So what I'm going to do here is in that you all clicked that box, did you not? Did you all click the box so that you got something that's called handout with URLs? Did you get that? Yep. Okay, if you did, I would like you to do this. Okay, that would be great. Put it in the local chat in case they didn't get it. If you just go to number 1, it's called Neon Show Fireworks 2011. Good, perfect. Okay, now I'm going to tell, what I want to do is I want to tell you what you're going to see. You're going to see really horrible video. You're going to see dancers stationary coming down out of the sky. You're going to see on the left hand side of the screen, you're going to see dancers that are totally out of sync. And you're going to see fireworks that doesn't really show very well because the background is not a very good color. And that's because back in those days, I didn't know how to do anything digitally. I'm a dancer. I came into SL to teach at Mystic Academy. I had no background in anything in SL, so I didn't know how to make a box. I knew how to move people and dance, but I didn't know how to do that. So in the early days, other people were doing the artistic part of the digital art because I didn't know how yet. I am a landscape artist. I work in oil, but I couldn't use any of those skills. So as we move forward, you're going to see a change. Part of that is because I knew what to ask for, and the other part was I began to learn how to do it myself. So you're going to see a progression. So as we watch this, I'm pointing out what I want you to see and notice. Notice that the people are dancing in groups, but they're not moving anywhere. They're just standing still. You'll notice those people on the left are out of sync, and that's because I had they were standing too far apart. I didn't know that. I had to learn that that doesn't work. You know, I'm a real world dancer. So I had to learn what not to do. And so you're going to see the mistakes, but you're also going to see potential because this is way back when dance just started. And you'll notice that SLD started big. We started with 19 dancers. 15 to 19 dancers. This was probably our third big show. And our big show, you know, and when I say big show, there were 80 people in the audience that day. And now we've learned we can't do that. We can't have 80 in the audience and be able to move very well. So is everybody queued up? If you're all queued, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, go, and then I want you to click your video and we'll watch it together. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, play. I'm going to show you, I'm going to speed ahead here. And these videos, when you have time at home, I would like for you to go through and look at them, but I'm going to show you the very same dance done in 2017, and I want you to see how different it is. Go down to number 4. Okay, oh wait, excuse me, I beg your pardon, number 3. And get the URL for number 3, and we're going to watch this one. I'm going to tell you while you cue it up. I'll explain. Let's get it cued in. And this one starts right at the very beginning of the thing. So just pause it a minute and zero it out. Okay, this is exactly the same dance 5 years later. It was danced here at Rockcliffe, and you'll see the amazing difference. Number 1, we had a group move. We had a dance hut that would move more than one group, and we had a mover that would move dancers. We had a scripture to bring the thing down the way, the platform down the way it should have been. We had contrast in the background. Tremendous advancements in just those years. So if you will cue it up. Is everyone queued up? Just on the night, like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em what you work. Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky. By the way, these are exactly the same fireworks as well. Erd built these, and we just brought them forward. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go, you're gonna leave 'em all in You don't have to feel like a wasted space. Your original cannot be replaced. If you only knew what the future holds after a hurricane comes a rainbow. Maybe a reason why. Now it's exactly the same animations.
So you could open one that leads you to the perfect road. Like a lightning bolt, your heart will glow. And when it's time, you know you just gotta ignite the light and live.
Notice the guys are on a different group.
Just
I believe there's 4 groups in this dance.
like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby, you're a firework. Come on, show 'em why you work. Make 'em go, as you shoot across the sky. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, let your colors burst. Make 'em go, you're gonna leave 'em behind. Boom, boom, boom.
Okay. So now you got an opportunity to see where we started. And this is not that long ago. It was 2017. We're doing more and more. That same year was the first year that we did Nutcracker, the full Nutcracker. And so we've come a long way. We're going to continue to go further. If you guys will all stand up right where you are. Okay, now you should have a pad right in front of your, a white pad right in front of you, and I want you to right click on it, left click on it, and it should put you right on it. The one right in front of your pad. Okay, good. Is everybody on it? No problems. Okay, now what we're going to do next is I'm going to help you get on a dance HUD. This is what you don't see when we're on the stage. At least you're not supposed to see these white pads. This is the mover. And what you're going to do next is see that pink ball in the middle up at the top? All the people here on this side, you see where I am, there is a 1 on the floor. If you look on the floor right next to you, you'll see that there is a number on your row. I'm going to get up from mine. This is all 1s over here. This is a 2 over here. Everybody in this row is on a 2. I'll tell you what to do in a minute. Just be patient. Then there is a 5 back here. You guys are on 5. You guys back here will be on a 3 when I tell you. We're going to do this one at a time. You'll be 4 here, and this will be 6 here. So now what we're going to do them one at a time. Now you're going to experience some of the same things that the dancers experience. We don't have perfect tools. SL doesn't work perfectly every time. Did you just see me try to res those pads? They didn't res, and then I all resed at once, and I had 3 sets out at once. Sometimes SL doesn't make it easy for us. So what we're going to do is to minimize the possible issues, we're going to do them one at a time. Everybody on my side where it says 1, you're going to click the ball, and when you do, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to get an invitation and then a blue note, and it's going to have numbers on the blue note, and if you're a 1, you get on 1. So if you'll do that now, Serenity, if you click the ball there at the top, get your invitation, accept it, and then go on. Okay? And then get on group 1. Let's see if you did. You did perfectly. All right, good. Now, some of those of you who are on 2, click the ball and the 2 line, accept the invitation, and get on group 2. Now, the formation that you're going to see when we dance, if we had all these positions filled, it would look quite different. So this is, just an opportunity to have you. Now, if you did not move just then, you're not on the group. Let's see.
Carol, we're having problems.
What is it, hon?
We're getting timeouts because we're all trying to get on at the same time.
Okay. Do you want to, if you did not get on, try it again. Yes, there you go. Okay, now it looks like I think maybe we have everybody. What do you think? Yep, like it.
Good.
Okay. What I'm doing right now is called caching. And that's what I'm letting your viewer catch these animations so that when we dance it, they'll play smoothly for you. And we do this backstage before every show. We have to cache. So you're getting the experience of just exactly what the dancer does before we come out here. Okay, so now what we're going to do, can we, I'm going to take your, let's see, I'm going to hide this, hide the pads, oops, hide the extra pads. I'm going to take your classroom away. Okay, now all you have is the formation. Now, you're going to have to kind of imagine what that would be like if everybody was on their position. Okay, and I'm going to put you in pose. And you guys turn your music on, your SL music, because Mikey is going to play this music for us in just a second. So, Mikey, you kind of give us a sign, would you please?
Sure will. Okay, thanks everybody. If you could make sure your music streams are on, I'm going to bring the volume back up to normal. We've had it playing very quietly in the background. I'm going to so be prepared for the volume to start to rise back to its normal level.
Thank you.
Okay, are you ready, Carol?
We are ready.
Enjoy this, everybody. Here we go.
Go.
This feeling inside my bones, it goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home, we're flying up no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it.
And watch this from the audience point of view. You're not. Good to do that. Nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance. Now we're dancing. I'm dancing 6 groups. I could dance 26 of you from one cut. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't need control. I fly so high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone. Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop, stop, stop. Under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel a good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on, all those things I
stop the nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel a good, good creeping up on you, so just dance, dance, dance. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. Ain't nobody leaving, so keep dancing. Everybody say.
Get ready, Alex.
Break it down. Got this feeling in my body. Can't stop the feeling.
Okay, now.
Can't stop the
Alex.
feeling. Got this feeling in my body.
Okay. And now I'm going to take you off. There you go. Turn that music down a little bit. Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoy dancing with us today and have a better understanding of just what happens. You've got a little taste of what happens backstage whenever you go to see a show with SLDC.